Hello, my name is Cal the Cat, and this is my Kyanta 2 tier list. I've been wanting to make like a Kyanta 2 tier list for a while now, no, I've made Kyanta 2 tier lists, but I wanted to make a video for a while now of just like explaining like in depth why I put each character where, like, just kind of explain my rationale and not have to write like entire paragraphs in a Discord. So I think it would be pretty nice. Granted, Evo Japan is like tomorrow for Kyanta 2, and there's supposed to be like like the Grand Sky announcement and stuff. So this could just be, if Grand Sky releases tomorrow and there's like a huge balance patch, this could just be like invalidated, which is cool. But I don't think it would be that bad. Anyways, kind of just some ground rules. So the main thing is the I guess I let's explain the tiers first. So like the loser tier, that is like the bottom of the barrel characters, obviously. Originally, this was just gonna have bottom one. However, it's like a close race. So it's bottom two. Then C tier, not like terrible, but they are like either really janky, have a lot of really weird like weaknesses. Just they have like very unique weaknesses, or just kind of aren't that good. Then there's kind of like the B minus characters. These are like the kind of like, they're like okay, but they're a little inconsistent at times. B is like decent. Like these are like, you could play them on like a team, and if you have two top tiers, that will you could still like win a tournament and stuff. Like these aren't like, you don't want to like put these as your like the backbone characters. But I don't know. It's fine. Like they're fine. A minus. This is where we get to like actually good, like this, like some pretty good characters. Like these are like just, they're good. They just might not have like, they might have some notable bad matchups. They might be a bit hard to rank. They might just have some like unique weaknesses and stuff. Whatever, but they're still good. Then there's the A tier. That's like, these are like the ones that can actually put in some like work and stuff. These are your like really good characters. This is where you start to see some of like the really Kyanta stuff of Kyanta. And then there's W City. These are the characters that you choose. Like if you want to win hard, these are the characters you choose. And then the City Penthouse, these are like the characters that are dominating the meta. These are like some of the strongest characters in the game. These are like just in a league of their own. They are already winning in like W City. I guess a little bit more ground rules. The lower down in the tier list, this is generally ordered. But the lower down in the tier list, the less the order really matters. Like, yeah, let's say like Jakor might. You could argue Jakor is like bottom five instead of bottom four, and should go like in front of Garasha, but like that character still would be bottom five. Like that doesn't really matter. Like closer to the top is where like the order. I'm like a lot more intentional about the order. Like the order, the order matters more. The only exception is the loser tier, just because like I feel like having a bottom. I tried to make a definitive bottom one. It was still kind of like, it's just too close. But like having a definitive bottom one can help like explain like if you know what like a bad character is, you know what's good in this game. If that makes sense. Also, if you couldn't tell already, this is not scripted at all, or at least, well, the only thing is like I already made a tier list on my phone, and I'm just gonna like use that as a general guide, but I might like just change the order like on the fly if I feel like it, you know. But yeah, anyways, I guess let's start off at the very bottom. And this one is I put the same amount of thought of this bottom tier list as these like very, very top. It is just because I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I would say I think like if I don't know, I think Batobi and like Dr. K are like the two worst characters in the game. I think you could swap their order around either way, but personally I think Dr. K is like slightly better than Batobi. So I'm just gonna go Batobi then Dr. K. So Batobi has like I don't know. It's weird because Gonta plays Batobi, but like switches whenever there's like even like a chance that it might be difficult. Anyways, Batobi has like it kind of got really gutted in the IBB patch. His normals, he doesn't really have good combos, and if you can get a combo, it's usually minus on hit. Their EX moves are like okay, but nothing really to write home about. They have decent-ish normals, but like the thing is they lose to zoning really hard, and even like they don't really have anything broken to really make up for like how bad it is to like try and get in with Batobi. This is also a character pretty low damage character, despite being this kind of like rush down brawler type. Like outside of like throw combos in the corner, that's it. But like if you're getting a throw in the corner with any character, that's usually like a really good situation. Like they are not meant. This is a Street Fighter character. This is not. You aren't supposed to be here. Go do footsies and like I don't know, like USF4. But yeah, I think at the very least, their bike super, that's kind of neat. You could do some cool stuff with that, or at least it's a fun one. I don't know, just not good. And on paper, Dr. K seems a lot worse. And I don't like because they have kind of stubby normals. Their 5A is like it's not meant to be like a standard jab. It's meant to be kind of like a Zuma type jab where it's like like two hitting anti-air and stuff, and like 2A's like okay. But the main issue is I don't know, they feel like kind of incomplete. Like there's all these like kind of spread out ideas. Like there's the 2X like syringe thing that's supposed to be like Rao sword that you can't actually combo into really easily. There's the pills that kind of like that I don't know, the side effects seem kind of like there's like jump height and then like reduction and increase. I don't know. But one of the main issues is, ironically enough, Dr. K's jump. It's so fucking floaty that it's like you have to like do like JA. You have to do like this weird like almost wave dash thing where you like buffer up jump and then do like JA in order to get like any sort of like air momentum. Uh, but the reason why I think at least Dr. K is just slightly better than Barodi is that Dr. K at least has some decent. Well, one, there's like the on paper like unblockable loops, though those are like pretty easy to escape. And if you're in that situation, you're probably like you're already just curb stomping. Then if you can set up an like unblockable loop with Dr. K, because that is like so hard to set up. JB is actually pretty good. It's really high damage. You can some in the corner you can combo into it. You could cancel your like it into JEX even on whiff. It's honestly like a pretty decent move. Also a really good instant overhead as well. But the main like also just being able to force jump is surprisingly strong. Like just have like slightly better normals, actually usable EX moves. But the main thing is, at the very, very least, Dr. K can gimmick Ultra. Dr. K 100% can gimmick Ultra. Fucking you just spam Nurse Masako. I won like a grand finals round because of that, where I just used Nurse Masako against like Spacey's parry, and it kind of just ended up working. Should I have chosen a better character? Yeah. Yeah, but there's still that. But you also have U2, like the vaccine beam. That's actually kind of like a good like gimmick Ultra. Like if they don't know it, like the knowledge check, the like if they don't know the knowledge check, like Dr. K seems like an A, like at the very least like a B tier. But if you just know the knowledge check of, oh, I could just block half of it and then jump and take like 2 or 3 hits in the air, and then they have like nothing else to do, it kind of invalidates that, and that's like they're probably the best thing that they can do. But I think just slightly better EX moves and an actual way to at least like gimmick out a character, I think that kind of like at least says something. But yeah, that's it for the loser tier. I guess because of that, I kind of want to have like a definitive bottom one. I will move him up to C tier. And then next up, I will put, sadly, Kinoko, the Neko arc of the game, which is fun. Kinoko is at least like, Kinoko's weird because they don't really, you don't win the game with Kinoko. If that, like, she does not, I don't know, she doesn't need to win a round in order for you to win the game, because her whole goal is to just spam out, like, just grab the mushroom, get a bar, get a shit ton of meter for your actually important characters, and then maybe gimmick out like a 6 a.m. set with rocks or something. That's kind of like her whole game plan. So she lacks a lot of combos, but the main thing with her issue is her like gimmick. Well, actually this one's probably more important. She doesn't really have any good reversals outside of like U2, which is a realistic option due to her like mushroom gimmick, but I don't know, that's still not good. She also lacks a lot of combos. I don't know if I already said that. Her ground stuff are kind of stubby, or like mainly exist as like situational combo fodder. JA is actually pretty good, but it's like if you're only using one good move, then you could just and you could play around that one good move, then it's not a good move. Or at least like I don't know. They have these. The main issue is that because all their JX, all their X buttons and all of their JEX and 5EX are all linked to the mushroom. Until you get the mushroom, you are only like half of a character, and not even a good half of a character. However, the meter gain you get with Kanoko is pretty good, but like, you could also just play like a rare or like a Kyanta or just like, hell, even a Spike, honestly. And you get kind of like similar enough results, but you could also take out a character. And not like all of her damage she gets feels coincidental, if that makes sense. Where it's like your main goal is to get meter, and they're like, oh, I hit a JA. That's a nice little trait. So yeah, that's Kanoko. And then I would say after that, where is she? Rogue. A kind of just, she's a zoner in a parry game, and zoners can work in this game. This isn't like a anti-zoning like witch hunt type of game like Third Strike is. The problem is her zoning kind of just has like a lot of gaps in it. And her moveset is kind of janky. She doesn't really have any combos. Her ultras are kind of so-so. Well, she actually has the worst ultra in the game with multi-arrow. It's just free parry fodder for your opponent, and gets rid of her, like... And because it's an install super, it gets rid of all of her EXs until the install goes away, so you're, like, actively kneecapping yourself to just give your opponent, like, half a bar in parries. She has, like, pretty good zoning tools. 2B is pretty decent. But, like, at least, like, just having this, like, disjointed, like, harassment tool at, like, full screen is kind of nice. But because it goes back so fast, you have to be constantly using it in order to keep it at, like, a good position. And it's very hard to do that because they could just EX through it. Yeah. That's kind of just Rogue. She's kind of like water without ice. Kind of just like, I don't know, she has like JX, which is a real lime wedge you could put in that like water. But that move's decent, but not really much to say about Rogue. Then we have what I like to say the first character with a somewhat winnable game plan, which is Razuma, rounding out our like bottom 5. Razuma has really good damage, and that's kind of it. The EX moves kind of lack a lot. JX is decent. That's pretty high damage. You have like this crawl that's pretty good, but I don't know. It's ironic they gave him like a reflector, and it honestly just inhibits it. Well, no, it like really gets in the way of stuff because you can't like do move back and like drill. You have to move back, hit neutral, and then like drill. Has decent normals. Like 2A is pretty good, especially combined with the crawl. JA is pretty far reaching. JB is a pretty good overhead. 5B's combo fodder. 2B's a neat low poke. Also combo fodder. But the main like thing is 2X and U1. U1 is an install super, but it really isn't an install super. Essentially, you can use it as like a free KC kinda without the damage. And also just it deals so much damage. You get a bunch of Boko, I think. And then you get also a lot of damage, and it's really, really easy to combo into. You could just hold it and then buffer it. And then 2X is a really hard to deal with move because now there aren't really moves that do what 2x does. It leads to really high damage combos. The problem is, it's really hard for Razuma to even do that. I guess another thing, Razuma does have like extra health. I think like 30, so like 240 total if you're doing ratio 3, which you probably should be. But they're like really tall, so you could hit them with a lot of stuff, hit them with a lot of some things that might go over someone. You'll get hit as Razuma. Just like, I don't know, just like really, really hard to get in with Razuma. So like you have good reward. It's just that the reward is way harder to get than it should be. And then final character in the C tier is Taro. Now Taro has the potential to be the most annoying character in the game. If like just like, alright, so the main thing Taro like has is zoning. And unlike rogues, Taro's zoning is actually pretty good. You get these 2 bones, and you get to like just kind of like fling them around. You can control them by moving it, so he's like a pseudo puppet character. But it's just like, but you could still like get rid of them with projectiles. However, the EX bones are pretty damn good because they're EX moves, so EX projectiles, so they have infinite durability, but also you could still like keep them on the screen for like infinite amount of time. So it's like you have this like, really hard to deal with like wall. Like he can spend meter really well. Can't get meter that well, but he could spend it really well. Like this actually sounds like a good character. However, there's like 2 really, really, really bad unique weaknesses that Taro has that kind of just forces Taro to go down here. Oh yeah, real quick. Taro is a zoner. He also has like a passive heal that if he doesn't block or get hit for like a certain amount of time, his health goes up. That's neat. That's pretty good. But the only downside is he has the lowest health in the entire game, which it isn't like a deal breaker, but it's still a pretty bad negative. The big thing though is that Taro has, whenever Taro's standing, they have a unique like extra amount of hit stun that allows for unique Taro only infinites or TODs. So you kind of just get, if the other player knows what you're doing, what they are doing, you kind of just get killed instantly. So like you kind of have to play like, you're not allowed like pretty much any mistakes with Taro, because they also don't really have any reversals. I guess like 2EX, but that really isn't that good as a reversal. Honestly, it's, despite being like an EXDP, it's better as like a combo tool because of 2EX loops. But I'm kind of glad Taro is like that, because if Taro was actually good and could actually be resilient, he would be the most annoying character in the entire game. But yeah, that's Taro. And moving on to B-. This might be a little bit controversial, or I don't think it's that much. It's like a spot above C tier, but I think Masao is pretty decent. For one, they have a meter taunt, which if you have a usable meter taunt, I think that's enough to at least get you like a B-. Like, meter is just that important in this game, and Masao can't spend meter. Their ultras really aren't that good. U1 is whatever the orb one is. I think that's U1. That one really isn't that good. But U2, the like DP Ultra, that one's like a pretty decent combo ender. And they have like some decent normal. They have like an OTG, which I think only like Kinoko and Taro technically have. Like JB, you can get a free 10 extra damage at the end of any combo. That's pretty good. 2B is a really good low profile. They have a combo throw that they could use from anywhere on the screen. You can at least get like a JX or a JX. But the thing is, their toolkit really isn't that impressive. If you like without meter, their jabs are pretty bad. They're really stubby. They don't really have too many good overheads because JB's minus on hit, JX is minus on hit, JA is like kinda almost plus at times. But the only reason why I think Misao is at least B minus tier is they have such a good suite of EX moves that's enough to like patch their like weak neutral. JEX, well, first off, 2EX, it's like fine. It doesn't really have any use cases. It makes for a cool combo tool. That's neat. But the main two are 5EX and JEX. JEX is just this insane like thing that you could throw out in neutral. It's plus, it leads into a combo. It usually carries all the way to the corner, or at least gets them knocked down in the corner, which you can usually follow up with a JB. It's a really good like thing to use in neutral. It goes through so much because it's like it's very, very invincible. It's really good, but that isn't even their best EX move. That's 5EX, which is crazy. Infinite projectile invulnerability. Absorbs all projectiles. Is really plus. Or I think, I don't know. It's deals a ton of damage. It deals like 60, which is really, really good. It also allows you to set up for your meter taunt. So this kind of gets into like a really good meter economy where if you're able to hit a 5EX, you could then go for a taunt and then spend half a bar to get essentially a bar back. Well, no, to get half a bar back and a free 5EX. That's pretty good. But overall, yeah, they just kind of like without meter they do struggle a lot. Without meter they are like a C tier character and like not near the top of the C tier, which that really isn't that impressive. But anyways, that's Masao, and following that up, Masako. Masako, I used to have as a bottom 3 character, and then she got like, essentially just a Masako buff patch, and she got so much from that patch to make her like a semi-usable character. The main 2 highlights from that are 5EX being like this just incredible, like, intoxicatingly belligerent option because you just throw it out and it's plus on block, fully invincible, really, really quick, and then if it hits 5x U2 2x, get a ton of damage off just throwing stuff randomly. And Kyanta 2 isn't really a fighting game as much as it is like an action per minute game, where if you can just do more than your opponent, sometimes that's just enough to win. So and they added like a buff to U2, which is her like spin kick ultra, to make it invincible. And it was arguably one of the best reversals, even without invincibility, and now it just is, at worst, the second best reversal in the game. Like, it starts combos, it's really high damage, I think like about 120-ish raw. You could also combo after it and loop it into itself. That's awesome. She got, like, that's pretty good. The problem is there's also the rest of her kit. She at least has like slightly better neutral than Masao. You have like 5x and JX, and you still have the really good 2B. You lose access on the throw, and but like still there's like enough of a character there to supplement the hope this 5EX hits kind of game plan. And then if you're able to just get a hit, combo into 5EX, and you get a bunch of damage. And you can usually get all the meter back from that. But still, they still like lack a lot of tools. Outside of 5EX, well, the thing is, it's the same kind of thing as like Kinoko JA, where like, if you have one really good tool and no way to really enforce options that like give you reward for that tool, then it's kind of not that good of a tool, or at least like it's not like as good as it could be. And that's kind of just the story of like Masako, I guess, like through balancing. Anyways, here's the most decent character in the entire game. Not good, not bad, consistently decent. And the first of our B tier, which is Spike. Now, Spike is a zoner with a meter taunt, so that's pretty good. They have pretty good normals. Their 5 and 2A are pretty good, as like really far, decently disjointed. Can combo into 5B and allow you to combo into U2 for really high damage. You got 5B, which is a really good forward advancing poke. You have 5X, which is a 2-hitting projectile, so it could absorb how projectiles work. Each hit is like a durability point. If it you could whenever projectiles hit, they lose like a durability point, and then they lose like one hit whenever it hits. So if Kyanta Fireball hits Spike's 5X, it survives with one hit, so it could absorb like 2 projectiles. So that's pretty good. And 2X covers a really important angle that some zoners can't really cover as well, which is pretty good. However, there is one pretty big problem with Spike. Their zoning isn't like that good, or at least like it's pretty easy to just kind of like slowly inch in. You can kind of parry in, but the main thing is they don't have any real good reversals. Not even like they're only kind of like okay reversal is like U1, but you lose like the rolling thunder, I think. But you lose access on like the fire breath super, which is so much damage. So and even then, your only like somewhat usable reversal still costs like 1 bar, which is not really that good. And that kind of just leads to, yeah, sometimes it could be a little hard to get in on Spike, but if you just have like a somewhat competent Oki game, and granted, this is a game without Oki, kinda, but if you have like somewhat like competent like looping like Oki, then it's kind of just it for Spike. But they're still decent. They still could just, if you just throw them on like as a point, it could still just like, I don't know, rough off their other point character. Not bad, but not good. Then above that, my opinion is, thanks to the Brazilians, I have changed my opinion on Katana Kyanta a lot, and I think they're solidly B tier at the very least. I used to think they were also bottom 3. I kind of played around with them. Kind of realized that their like sword normals are pretty dang good. Well, they always have been, but like I just kind of realized they still are good. Like 5A is really good as like a far-reaching poke. 5B is insane because it's a combo starter that also is like really plus advancing, anti-air, multi-hitting. It's cool. And then you also have your sword projectile, which is 3 hits, so that's 1 more hit than Spike, and you can use it in the air. It's a really good and helpful tool for rushdown. And you'll kind of see that way later that a 3 hitting slow moving projectile is incredibly good. Now, but why isn't Katana incredibly good then? It's kind of just like Katana doesn't have the best combos. Well, actually, one thing, they have no overheads outside of like JX. JA minus on hit, JB minus on hit, JX projectile mid, JX you have to like Tiger Knee in order to get a combo off afterwards. So there's that. So they could just crouch block everything. And even if you do get a hit, there's not much you can really do. Like you could do jab jab jab, and that's kind of it. You could do jab 5EX, which is pretty good. And that is actually just it. It's either jab 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 or jab jab 5EX into like maybe a JB if you're like get them to the corner. So they kind of have weak combo game. However, their neutral is like decent enough, and they have pretty good disjoints. That like, oh yeah, I forgot 2X is actually pretty dang good as like a neutral option. So you do have 2X into jab. Everything routes into jab because you can't route into anything else, but you can at least get decent combos off of 2X. And if they don't have a projectile, it could be a very, very like oppressive move. Or they just reversal you, but just it's all sunshines and rainbows if you think it's sunshine and rainbows. And then another sword character, and the last character in our B tier, is regular Michelle. Regular Michelle has pretty decent normals. You have 5A, 2A, all the Michelle and Mask, like the 5A, the A's and B's are pretty decent. You have a really far disjointed high damage low with 2B. You have a decent-ish, like a pretty serviceable anti-air with 5B. You have decent jabs with 5A, 2A. JB is insane. It's an insane movement tool. Like, you get to kind of just do whatever you want with JB. It's such a good rushdown tool. Their air projectile is kind of weird, where it kind of like glides down to the bottom and then like follows a track. That's kind of neat. You kind of just use it if you're like at full screen. You kind of could just do like jump, like JX cancel recovery with landing, and then you have like a decent projectile. 2X is a fun move. Yeah. Their EX moves aren't really. They have like pretty good neutral, but their EX moves are kind of lackluster. JX and 5EX at least are decently high damage, but can't really combo into they're not really rewarding to combo into or honestly use because the projectile speed is kind of slow, so you can't really use it as like this haha got you. But what you can use as a haha got you is fast fork. Fast fork is fast, as the name implies, and it's a really good because it does just a flat 100 damage one hit. If you space it, you could combo afterwards and get like a bunch of damage. It's a pretty good punish, and a pretty good tool. Like you get a lot. It's very high risk, high reward, but you could get like a lot off a read. The problem is they just don't really have combos without meter. You have like jab jab 2B, which is at least better than what Katana has, but you're still minus on hit afterwards. You aren't punishable, but you're still like minus on hit. There is actually a funny thing where it would be so useful if Michelle could do like 2A 2A 5B or just like jab into 5B, but he can't. But Mask can, and Mask doesn't need that combo. Because you could do like jab jab 5B U1, and that would actually be a pretty good combo. But you can't with Michelle for some reason. Even though their normals, Mask and Michelle's normals are exactly the same, except for that one thing. Which is weird. But yeah. Anyways, here's the A minus tier, and the first character in our A minus tier. Let's switch something up here. I think I'll switch it up. I think I'm gonna go with Well Done. Now, this character feels like they would probably just be like a B tier, maybe you can't kind of consistently get their parry their projectiles. The reason why I'm kind of hesitant is because the main thing I know about Well Done and is from fighting like hippos Well Done, and I don't know if that's Well Done being really good or if it's just Hippo making a bad character look like an A minus character. So this one, take it with a grain of salt. However, they have pretty good like they get so much reward off of like a good anti-air. They have some pretty good moves like 5B, JB is a beast of a jumpin'. Such it's like, I don't know, it's so weird. It feels like, it looks like just every other jump in, but it just feels different. It deals, like it just, I don't know. But Well Done is a very, very high damage character and can convert into high damage pretty easily. And off of like so much too. Like just a rogue like 5X or like a 5A or like some weird like JB like JB air to air. Gets so much damage. Also his EX moves are pretty good. JX is like underutilized, but I don't know if that's because it's good or if it's just underutilized or if it's bad. 5EX is pretty damn good. Really quick, invincible, and like half screen, like in multi-hitting move. Pretty good as like just a random like fuck you in neutral. Their zoning's also pretty good, or at least like very scrubbed killer zoning. If they don't know parries, this is just Super Turbo Sagat. If they don't know parries, but if they do, then it's like, oh, now you have to do like use 5X as an anti-air, and then you do like a bunch of you have to like play neutral and stuff. But still, Well Done. You know what? I feel confident. Well Done is like a decent character, not like the best character, but like, there are worse characters that you can use. Pretty good. I'm gonna move on to the next character. And that is Zaki Wild. And this character, I think, has the potential to be way higher. Especially in like a Kyanta 20XX scenario where everyone is everyone's parrying every single thing and like doing like super optimal double KC flash bonus like combos. Zaki Wild is up there because of one particular change to 2B, which gives it a bounce that allows it to combo into itself. So in theory, this character, if they could route it to a 2B that hits the opponent in the air, they just have a TOD, or at the very least a timeout. But even without that, 2B is just an insane neutral tool. Just being able to have this stationary hitbox. Like I said, it's an action per minute game. So just having that there limits the actions that they could do per minute. Like, it kind of like, oh, I gotta like think, how do I traverse around this? How do I traverse around like Zaki Wild? Well, also like, do I just try to air parry it? What like stuff? And then you get hit by like a random 2x or JX from like full screen. Like, they also have 5x. 5x is a beast of a move. 5x is good at just like as a neutral option, as a pressure like frame trap thing, as like a combo ender, because it's really easy to combo into and knocks down, so you get like looping knockdowns, and you could set up like 2B Oki. You get like it does so much. It's surprisingly really, really good. The problem is, Zaki Wild doesn't really have too much outside of like 2B and 5x. JX is pretty good, but their other like EX options are either kind of like underwhelming or like really gimmicky. 5EX would be really good, and is like it would be really good, but it's way too slow to come out, so you can't really use it as a reversal. You can't combo into it. It's really, even if you can, it's like it's still kind of hard to use as a like combo tool due to like it moving forward and like doing this wall bounce and stuff, so it makes it kind of hard to combo. JX is really bad. It's kind of funny at least. 2x is very gimmicky. U1, it's like a decent call-out tool in neutral, but that's kind of it. U2 is like a better like combo tool, but it's kind of just meh still. But at the very least, without meter, they're pretty self-sufficient. And they have like a lot of potential, and also are pretty good as like an anti-meta pick. It's very hard to figure out what to do against a good Zaki Wild, even if you have like a top 3 character. Which maybe I should put them up higher? Problem is, nobody plays the game, so like, whatever. And then after that, I'm gonna go with Garasha. Garasha is the like Blanca function for the game. You have your just Blanca ball, and well, the thing is, Garasha is like what Barobi wants to be. This like high damage, like random hit, like bruiser type character. Like 5x and JX deal 30 damage per hit. 5EX and JX deal 50. That's crazy. Like 4 of those in a jab, and they're like a few jabs, and they're dead. They are dead. Like, and also 5A not that good. 2A really good as like by 2A standards. A lot of 2As really aren't that good. Garasha has a really good 2A. And on top of that, you could combo it really easily into 2B, which is minus on hit. However, you could cancel 2B into U1, and then you get just a really, really, really good, like, consistent damage option, like, from anywhere. I'm getting parched. They also have decent air. JB's also pretty good, like, air normal. It's kind of harder to use. I don't know. It's just good. Like, you can use it low to the ground as like an instant overhead combo into stuff. Yeah, they're just a consistent, really good, consistent character. Can just get like these random high damage hits out of nowhere. Also, U1 can be used as like a really good like Boko break kind of checkmate move. So that's pretty neat. But they kind of just don't really have anything too broken. I also have like 5EX, but I don't know. They need meter to get meter. I don't know, it's weird because it's kind of hard for them to get meter without meter. But the more meter you use, the less you're incentivized. Essentially, whenever you use meter, you're in a situation where you can't really get meter. But without using meter, you're in a situation where you can get meter. I don't know. It's essentially you have like inverse meter economy with Garasha. But they're still pretty good. And then we have Blues, probably the single most honest character in the game. Like, they literally have the frame data for their overhead on, like, their character select screen. Still, it's a 13 frame overhead. But that's, funnily enough, that's kind of slow by Kyanta standards. Blues just has... It's kind of like how Spike is, like, consistently decent. Blues is, like, consistently, like, good. Where they just have, like, really good tools. Nothing too broken. Everything's, like, really earned. So they're just A-. Like, everything you have to earn. But if you earn it, you get good stuff. Like, real working man character. Like, they have pretty good normals. 5A, 2A are pretty good. JA is a little weird. JB's also kind of weird, but it's like, I don't know, it's a little like weird stall and fall kind of thing. 2B is okay. It's kind of like a worse Michelle/Mask 2B, where it's like less disjoint and still minus on hit. 5B, on the other hand, is an insane neutral tool. It's disjointed. It's disjointed. It's advancing. It's really good anti-air. It's really good as like combo fodder. It's really good to just like for pressure. It's like it is just like it's just such a good like Swiss Army knife of a tool where it can be used in so many different like situations, and they can't really. They could punish you, but with reads, not really. I don't know. You have to like know that you're gonna do that, but even then, it's still such a good move. You also have 2X, which is like this low to the ground rolling bomb. That kind of helps him a lot with like getting in, because it's like most projectiles will like go over it, which sounds like a negative. However, it means that it can't. Most characters that would just whose default option is to, whenever they see a projectile, is to get rid of the projectile. They can't do that, so they have to actually like deal with that 2X. They can't just make it go away with like I don't know. They also have pretty good EX moves. 2EX is really good just for like kind of like EX loops, though U1 kind of just makes it unnecessary for EX loops. But I don't know, it can be decent off of specific hits. When 5EX I feel like this is one of the most slept on EX moves in the entire game. It's like a forward advancing, multi-hit plus on block overhead that hits from like half screen, leads to combos in the corner, and usually like a T like can go into like at least something. I think one of the main enablers for this like kind of like really honest game plan is U1, where it's just like a really good high damage ender. Just being able to cash out and get rewarded for your like good plays with a U1. That's what really enables Blues to be as good as he is, despite being like a really honest character in a very dishonest game. There's also U2, which is arguably worse than Rogue's multi-arrow. That's neat. I guess one of the things is they don't have like a meter taunt. That's kind of, they would really like a meter taunt, but they don't have one. They only have like a damage taunt. But still, they're just they're just honest. You get like a good character with Luz. Anyways, this one is also like kind of like similar to Zaki Wild, where like in Kyanta 20XX, this is probably maybe like up here for like a very specific reason, which I'll touch on at the end. However, I'd say like Azuma's probably the most iconic like original character. Fun fact, if you didn't know, Kyoko was actually made by someone else, who kind of like disappeared off the face of the internet. I don't know. That's like a whole thing. It doesn't matter. What matters is that Azuma is a pretty damn good zoner, and even like in a parry game, they're able to play around being a zoner in a parry game really well because of how they zone. The main thing is their zoning tool is 5x, which is essentially just like a hit scan weapon, where it's just a really long projectile. Well, not a projectile. It's like a normal, so it doesn't get absorbed by other projectiles. It is just, there's no travel time. There's startup, but no travel time. And on top of that, you could, because of the IBB changes, you can cancel a 5x on hit into a U1, and it will combo. You can also buffer 5x afterwards. It's just a really good neutral tool. But the rest, Azuma's toolkit is a little lacking, but it's kind of like intentionally so. I don't know. Kyanta's a weird side tangent. Kyanta feels like coincidentally balanced. This one feels like intentionally balanced, but like the game as a whole feels like really coincidentally balanced, where it's like just quirks of the code are left in because they help the game be balanced, like buffer parry on Wake Up as an example. Like, I don't know. Anyways, back to the tier list. They're kind of, their B moves are not that the best. 5e is at least like a decent, if you could get it, it could help reset zoning. But the main reason you're here is for the X moves. 5x, JX, pretty good. JX is a like nearly full screen overhead. 5x is your that's why you play the character, is for like the zoning stuff. And like normally, because of how like Azuma plays, you would normally be able to get into into that character and like just destroy them. But they have 2x, which is this like static, kind of like similar to like Zaki 2v, where it's just this static hitbox that just makes it so that it's like, oh, if I jump in, My jump is probably just going to leave them standing. I get hit. I get knocked down. They set up another 2x. And now it's a whole thing. So, like, Azuma's zoning is really good. But they also have pretty good EX moves. 5EX is not one of those. 2EX is like a almost workable reversal. But JX is insane. It is essentially JX, but it's also combos into U1, which is so funny. That's so funny. Like, GG's dickhead, you were crouch blocking against the zoner at half screen. JEX U1 5X. Shake my hand. U2 is not good. Don't use that. Don't use that. Anyways. U1. The, like, funny shoot gun move. Azuma, he eat the gun at the end. But it's still really good. It loops into itself. You can combo into it with 5x, which is awesome. You can combo into it with your jab. So if they're close, you can do like either anti-air jab or stand jab into like U1. That's pretty strong. That's pretty cool. But there is like some. Well, I guess I'll cover this before I cover the downsides. Azuma, also being one of the big characters, has extra health. So, like, tied with Razuma, so that's pretty neat. Also, thing they share with Razuma, they are really tall, so they get hit by a lot of unique stuff. So that's pretty cool. They also don't really have any good... They have, like, one, like, almost usable reversal, and that's kind of it with like 2EX, and it's only kind of usable because with against the zoner you want to get close on wake up, and in order to like be close and block, you crouch block, and it's an overhead, but if they know you're gonna do it, it has a pretty large gap, and you can get punished for it. Which is fair. You should get punished for whiffing a reversal, which we'll see. Later on, there will be characters with reversals that you can't really punish. So that's neat. But here's the kind of Kyanta 20XX of it all. Most players, and I even recommend this, is to play just Stamina 1 Azuma. This is not the best version of Azuma. The best version of Azuma is Parry 1 Azuma. Because Azuma is probably the best parry character in the entire game. Both parry groove and just at using parries, because they jump in, you parry, 5A, you won. What parry type does, for the uninformed, you can't block, and you also don't get the health bonus from like Stamina Super. However, at the end of each round, you get like 40 health back, I think. But also, whenever you parry, you get health back and like half a bar, which is insane. And because Azuma has like the extra health, the opportunity loss of using a non-stamina groove isn't really that bad. I think you still have more health than a stamina Taro. But also just being able to go parry for half a bar and then go like 5A U1 and then get kill and then get another half bar at the end of like, I think it's actually like a full bar, if I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but to get more meter at the end of a round just creates this like looping, kind of like resource loop with Azuma. It's like kind of like in the terms of meter economy, Parry Azuma is like this self-sufficient island state that kind of just like exports like, I don't know, fish or something. That fish is U1 and U1 into itself. So like Parry Azuma is actually probably right here. Like at the very least an A tier character. Thing is, there's only one Azuma picture on here. So there are almost like two different characters, honestly. But just because the only real person who even uses Perry Azuma is like Spacey, and they only play whenever there's like Vortex Gallery online to get like just prize money. It's kind of hard to gauge that. But still, even without that, Azuma is a pretty good character. And after that, we got Natane. Natane is kind of hard to rank, but they are a pretty good rushdown character. They have their 2A is not that good, but the rest of their moves are really good. 5A is a decent like jab. JA is an insane instant overhead. Like, you are just able to just spam the shit out of that. Like, it is just like, it is crazy. But you have like 2B is a pretty good anti-air. It's a little hard to time, but people time like frame 1 Azuma like anti-airs, so did I say overhead or did I say anti-air? I mean 2B is a good anti-air if I said overhead. 2B is a pretty good like anti-air. 5B is a really good tool to just throw out. You could also, it's a decent combo ender. Just like after a jab, you are a little minus, but usually there's enough like distance that you won't get punished, really, if it is even possible to punish. JB is crazy. JB combined with like JX is crazy. It's just like this really just like haha gotcha, like in neutral. 5X is neat. JX allows for a lot of silly shenanigans. And 2X is like a weird combo fodder move. Kinda. However, Natane sports one of the best suite of EX moves where like every single one is like even her worst one, 5EX, would be like the best EX move on like a lot of other characters. You have 2EX, which is a full screen low that loops into itself. That's crazy. You are just able to like do this like haha fuck you in like neutral with like 2EX. It's so cheap. It's so cheap. You also have JX, which is this like, I don't know, like it's like this like crackhead move where you just use JX to carry the momentum into a JX. Like, you're just zooming across the screen. It is crazy. You are also a pretty high damage character as well. Like, you can combo into U2. The double install is pretty fun to use, even if it isn't that good. The main, the only, she would be like A tier, maybe even like Dub City if like she just had like 3 frames of her U2, 3 or 4 frames of her U2 startup shaved off. Just because then it would make 5A, 5B, U2 possible. And that would be like game changing for her. Next character, I got Jakor, who is like on paper not really that good. Kind of like a B tier character almost. However, in practice, they are pretty strong. Like they kind of have a bit of a stubby 5A, but their 2A actually makes up for it. 2B is like a weird move. It's like this weird multi-hitting move, like low. You kind of just use it as a combo ender sometimes. 5B is like not that good. It's kind of just like you could hit it, but you're usually pretty minus, and the opponent could usually do something afterwards before you could really like do something of your own. But JB is like 5B without any of the issues because you could land cancel it. So it's this really just like you just do jump like JB low to the ground. It's this like it kind of lingers for a bit, and it's really fun to use. It's pretty good. 2x is weird. You kind of use it more because you have to rather than you get to use 2x. It's just like it's minus on hit. So you can't really, and it doesn't knock down. If she could get like a consistent knockdown, she would. I don't know. A lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda's in this like A minus tier. But I don't know. But her main tools are her JB and her like 5x. 5x is just like a projectile. It's practically a reversal. It comes out like, it feels like frame 0. It comes out at. It's like such a good like slow moving projectile that it's just like, oh, like it's something that you can't really ignore or just like take on the chin. Like you kind of just have to like it allows like Jakor to actually move in and do stuff. 5EX is also, the EX version is also pretty good, where it's just this really high damage, fast projectile that also leaves her decently plus, so she could usually do 5EX taunt. And I think this is our first 5EX meter taunt character. Oh, no, actually, Masao. But still, that's good enough to make you a B- character on your own with a bad tool, or at least like a suboptimal toolkit. With even like a halfway decent toolkit, that's like an A- character. Yeah, like U1 is like a weird like mini game, kind of like almost like a mini game ultra, where it's like just avoid going into the heart, and if you go into the heart, GG's, shake my hand. Oh, her main issue is just like she has too much jank in her kit. She's like, I think she's one of the first characters that Harama added. Like even like she's from the original like Bait 2014. Like she's in Kyanta 1. That's how like old she is. And Kyanta 1's like a weird kind of like top down brawler. But like even in like the beta Kyanta, like the alpha Kyanta 2 version, where there was only like 16 characters, she was there. She is all like it. I don't know. There's just like a bit of jank with her kit that kind of just stops her from being like. Her kit's just like a bit too inconsistent to make her like an A tier. And then there's Miyusha. Now, Miyusha is the last of our A- tier. She is the second newest character in the game. She has a lot of pretty good tools. She's a lot more of a unique character where like a lot of characters, she has like a lot of unique mechanics. Like she has an air string, which is pretty neat. Her JB is insane. It gives her, it's like kind of similar to like the well done like knee, but this also just has like a unique one-time ground bounce that like allows her to do like a bunch of really sick combos. Like she also has a float. She has like really good movement. She also has like, she's also like so belligerent. This is kind of like what Dr. K really wants to do, but like we're just be this kind of like belligerent like character, but Miyusha can actually do that because of JX. JX is insane because it's this giant like, it's essentially just it is essentially just like Injustice 1 Superman like air like laser. It's pretty much exactly that. That might actually be where Harama got it from, because it is even if you are like a top tier character, it's still annoying to deal with. Like you kind of just have to like sit there and wait your turn and like kind of just catch them off guard because they're gonna do it again. Uh, they got like two. They got at least like they have a pretty good like combo game where they could just kind of route everything into a 2B, like kind of set up like get a knockdown, kind of like set something up with like 2x. They are a fun combo character. Like they are just able to, like they have the whole air string. They have like they also get insane damage off after like their JB, where you just do JB missile jab. You deal like 60 plus damage from that. Also a combo grab because of JB, even without JB, but still, I don't know. The main thing, their EX moves are kind of lacking though. 2EX isn't that good. Pretty gimmicky, really hard to utilize. JX is like fine, but JX is good enough as is. Like 5EX is actually pretty good. It's a pretty good combo tool, very far-reaching, invincible because it's Kyanta 2. If you spend meter on it, it's going to be invincible. But their ultras are also pretty good. Where like this, most characters have like a definitive best ultra. But like usually you could use either in like the same matchup, and it both would work. I'm also gonna check something real quick. Okay, good. My mic is on. Would really suck if I recorded for like an hour and a half. I think we're at least an hour-ish with no audio. That would suck. But yeah, Miusha is just very belligerent, but they're kind of like Blues where they're just a bit too honest. Or like telegraphed and stuff. Like they don't really have anything that's too broken. If it is broken, it's pretty telegraphed where there's like, it's kind of like they go into like, I'm going to do JX. You kind of tell they're going to go for JX because they jump to the top of the screen and then like hold that position and then do JX. Or like, oh, I'm gonna wait and then use U1. You know, they're a bit telegraphed. And now with the A tier, one of my personal favorite characters, Kakorn. This character is a fun time. This is a very fun time. And this is where you start getting into like the real like nasty broken stuff with the game. By the way, this is also our first grappler. If you play grapplers, if you really want to play a game where grapplers are like top tier, like real high tier, top tier, this is the game that you play. Like this is like this character in particular feels like a grappler like a grappler's wet dream, like where they get all the stuff grapplers should not have, and even the stuff that Kyanta characters should not have. One big character, 240 health, that's pretty good. Still tall, so they do get hit by stuff. But like they have Vega Claw and a DP. That is crazy. That's crazy to have on a grappler. Their command grab, it's weird. Their command grab is also one of the most like underrated moves in the entire game. Because 5X is like a command dash because it's active throughout the entire. It's essentially like a running bear grab. Ha ha ha! Funny joke, Harama. It's active throughout the entire thing, but like it's disjointed. It's like essentially like an entire like 2 character spaces like in front of Kakorn. So you can use it like it is such a crazy move, and if you know the like Noji combo, then you get so much reward. You get corner carry, you get like a shit ton of damage, you also make back the like KC investment as well, where Like there's that. You could kind of just this is a one button character where you can just go like 5x, 2x, like JX the entire game, and like you could probably win. Their ultras are also really good. Where U1 is a bit more fun because it's like super high damage, like invincible command grab, almost like a raging demon. U2, his like air kick is insane because of the changes in IBB. It used to be like just kind of neat. However, because you could cancel 2x your invincible reversal into a almost into like a air kick that's plus on block. You have plus on block option selects. You get FADC in a game where that doesn't exist. Well, you get FADC but better. Like it's insane. It's insane what you get. Like this is the A tier for you. This is the A tier for you. But like I said, they are pretty much a one button character where they kind of just like their EX are a little lackluster, but they make up for it with their ultras being like really really good. But like 5x is like fine, 2x really isn't that good. JX is pretty good. It's really high damage, and you can kind of combo afterwards depending on like how you get a hit. But the main thing is their A and B moves aren't really used that much outside of like combos. So it means that you're kind of like limited. It's like the inverse Kanoko problem where like you still have at least access to those options, but it's just like you essentially have like half a kit. However, that's a good half of a kit. However, you can be pretty predictable if a character has like a good like stationary projectile. You could like usually just block the Vega claw, and then they get hit by the projectile, and then they get like knocked down and stuff. You're still playing Grappler. It's still a little hard to get in at times, but just the overwhelming like strengths of the character is enough to make them like a good A tier. We aren't even at the top 10. This game's crazy. The next character, which I might actually change. This one, I think I will. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this the same. I think I'm gonna keep it the same. Next character, the poster character, Kyanta from the Fight 2, Ultra. This character just has, like, I guess they have they have pretty much no weakness if outside of like, oh, whenever your health goes to 0, they die. Like that's the weakness. Like their weaknesses are universal weaknesses. They have like They have like things that they lack, but they don't have like inherent weaknesses. They are just like if you want to just if you just want to like get onto like just turn your brain off, win like get at least to like top 3 for a tournament, you just put Kyanta, and then whatever like just one button character, and then you win. It's that easy. Kyanta is a really easy character, and they have really good tools. Their 5A is not that good. It's kind of stubby. Their 2A is weirdly good. It's disjointed, reaches really far. Like, it also combos into 5B, which could then combo into another 2A 5B, like, and you could like pseudo loop it. But this is kind of just like every main character lumped into one. You have like JA, which is just Kyo's like I think that's I'm pretty sure that's his name. Yeah, Kyo's like J2C. But one of the main things that they have is their special moves. With they have like I don't know, it's so hard. It's hard to sum stuff up with this like these characters because they are those that good. But like I'm gonna try and sum it up. Essentially, they have really good air movement because their JX allows them to do air action. So you can either go into a JA or a JB, and like really, it makes it really hard to actually like anti-air Kyanta. 2X it's a DP, but it's actually just a command dash. It is insane. It has more invincibility frames than it does recovery frames. It is so hard to punish, especially online, but even in person, it's really hard to punish. You can just spam it out. It also has pretty good damage. I think it does like 39 if you're able to get all the hits. You don't always, but if you can, you get so much reward from it. This is also the 5EX taunt character. They have arguably, I think that, yeah, I would say they have the best meter taunt in the game. Like it's very subtle, it's very quick, it's really easy to set up because of 5EX and stuff. Their EX projectile is also pretty good. I would say the only, like I said, they don't really have weaknesses. It's more so other characters outstrength Kyanta. Like, where Kyanta is just lacking stuff. Like, they lack damage. That's the main thing. That's the main thing that they lack. If they could, like, do decent damage with meter, then they would probably be, like, Dub City Penthouse. But thank God they aren't, because this would be on every single team. And they kind of already are. Now, the next character. This one might surprise a lot of people. Except for John. Shout out John. Smiley face. And also Manko. It's Nanatsu. This is a really good zoning, kind of like really, really good point character. They just have such good neutral. JB is like this insane, like almost air dash. 5X and 2X set up for a really, really layered zoning game where, because they both move at like different arcs and different speeds, so it's kind of like, it's like they move like at asynchronous speeds, so it's very hard to kind of, you could vary up your zoning really well. They have the big steppy, which granted isn't as strong now, like 5EX, because of the health buffs. You used to be able to do 5 and kill, now you have to do 7, which is 3.5 bars. But still, honestly, like 5B and 5EX are just insane. Like 5B is practically unblockable. Honestly, like you just get hit by it twice before you even realize you got hit by the first one. It's so quick. It's also I think it's like 6-ish frames, and also leads into a combo and leads into a knockdown, which can go into like bug Oki. Insane. They have, I don't know, there's normals are kind of savvy, but just being like JB, 5X, 2X is like enough to like take out an entire character, death by a million cuts. But that's kind of the issue. Their ultras really aren't that good. U1 feels kind of like a kind of gimmicky, feels pretty gimmicky. You can kind of do like a Boko checkmate, but I don't know, it still feels kind of like icky to use. U2 is like really low damage, so like sometimes you kind of want, it also has like blind spots, so you can't really use it as like an ender, but it's also like, it almost feels like she kind of has to use something like that. I don't know, it feels like her ultras aren't really that good, but it feels like you have to use her ultras with her. But she's still really good. She is an insane at getting meter, because most of, like, she is just dealing so many like hits, like just all at once, by the time you get to the second character, they have like 3 bars, and you have like maybe like have like a one-hit character with 0. Like they just in that second character gets a taunt. They're up to 4 bars, and then you're at like your second character. This character enables a lot of the really broken characters, but they're just outside of the top 10. But they are still really good. They're probably the most. I would say they're the most underrated character in the game. And the first character in our top 10 and last character in our A tier is Mask, a character near and dear to my heart. This character, if you want to play like a really screwed up rushdown character, this is the character for you. Because oh my goodness, you get to do so much cool rushdown stuff. Because remember how I was talking about Michelle's JB being really good as like an approach tool? The problem with Michelle using JB is they can't really combo into a knockdown. Even with meter, it's kind of hard. So they can't really abuse it as much because it's active the entire time you're using it. But Mask has multiple meterless knockdowns. And multiple metered and meterless knockdowns. So you're just able to loop it. You are just able to spam JB. Oh, I don't know what side it's sitting on, but neither do you. You just do that one Piccolo video, block this whack-ass mix up. That's essentially Mask. You do but granted, because of Yukemi, the wake up roll, there isn't Oki's kinda fake in this game, but still, it is. But still, he could loop knockdowns really well. And you also get a pretty good high damage ender with U1, so that's pretty neat. 5X is a character on its own. It's that good. 5X as a move is so good. It's so good. It's this half screen multi-hits knockdown. You could set up JB pressure. You can just, it does everything. It's a combo ender. It's a neutral tool. It's a disjoint. It can kinda anti-air almost. It is insane. It is so good. It's so good. It's arguably one of the best moves in the entire game. I'm being entirely serious. They also have a pretty dang good reversal with 2X, which is really nice. They also have a meter. This arguable, but the two best meter taunts in the game are Kyanta and Mask, and Mask is pretty close because Mask, it's even harder to tell. It's slightly longer, so if you just kind of see the Mask player just standing there for a second, you can kind of maybe tell that they're going for one. But it's really easy to just go, oh, I'm gonna just do 5X instead of going for okay, I'm just gonna go get an entire bar. They are also a really good point/mid character where they get so much meter because they're doing so many of these tiny little hits all at once. I would say the main kind of issue is they do struggle a bit against zoning. And against some of the top tiers in particular. His Somi can be kind of difficult. Spike is Spike and Nanatsu are kind of difficult matchups. It's kind of hard for them to approach, but once they get that hit, and they keep that hit. They keep that hit, and they reuse that hit. It's a recycling. Mask is a green character. Anyways, that's my Mask glazing. Anyways, we've entered the elite W city. If you want to win a tournament, you probably have 2 of these characters on there. and our first member of the W City like council is Sendo. The honestly, I don't know. No, actually, you know what? No, I already. You know what? No, they're an A character. Now this might be controversial, but nobody plays Sendo, so it's like, oh, how am I supposed to? People say Sendo's good, but I don't know. The one thing they have insane damage. They have insane, really, really, really high damage. They have really high damage, and they could get it really, really consistently. The problem is, they kind of just are like Mask, where they do struggle to get in. They have like slightly better, like, they have like really fast movement speed. But honestly, I don't know. I'm just putting Sendo here. I don't really know how to talk about them. Actual W City character, though. First one, another character near and dear to my heart. Chihiro. Chihiro, our second grappler. Which means our second grappler. They are such a fun character to play. Whenever you get like your loops going, it's so fun doing like a Metal Gear Solid like cutscene for a combo. Like they have pretty good. They are a high damage character that could pretty consistently get that high damage. They are one hell of a anchor. They are so good. Like this is, if you want a 1v3 an entire like team covered in blood, this is the character that you do this with. They have, and that's like, so the main thing they do is they have 5x. And 5x, you just get like any sort of combo you want. Mid screen, you could do like just JB and get like 60 damage off a single like interaction, which is pretty nice. But in the corner, you just kill them. Because you can like do like 2B like JX loops. Those are pretty strong. And you have like pretty good like, you have arguably the best air to air in the entire game with JX, where I have an entire round off of a round start JX hit. It is so good. Because it just like, it brings them to the corner, it combos them into the corner, it leaves you perfectly spaced to do like your 2B loops. But like, the main thing that allows them to like just 1v3 an entire team, as well as their damage, is their install. They have arguably one of the most brain dead installs in the brain dead moves in the entire game, which is Chakra Armor. It gives you super armor, a flat 5 extra damage per hit, which means like you would lose damage due to like not being able to use your EX moves, but then it's just like completely offset, where like you are just dealing a bunch of damage where you can't really loop it to infinity. So if they aren't at like full health, you don't get like a free TOD while in an armored state. Oh no. But you still get them like to like 180, deal 170-ish. Like, that's pretty good. They can also still block as well. The main problem is, though, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, where it's like, there are characters, particularly Zaki Wild, that's that anti-meta pick I was talking about, where Zaki Wild just completely destroys Chakra Armor. There are like a lot of characters that can just completely abuse the fact that Chakra Armor like has this weird like extra hit stun as well. It's still really brain dead. It allows this character to just be like this insane like juggernaut of an anchor. And then after that, probably one of the most versatile characters in the entire game, and probably the most like popular, is Kyanta. Just, it's kind of like Kyanta, you know, like kind of like Kyanta, just better, where Gyanta is like this. You know how like I said, Kyanta lacks damage. Gyanta is essentially just like, oh, you lose 30 health, and now you can deal damage. The IBB changes helped Gyanta so much. They helped him so goddamn much. He is just able to go JB, Secret Ultra, also only character to be able to use 2 Ultras. That's pretty strong. And just like deal so much damage. You can deal damage so easily. JB is insane. That deals like 70 for a meterless move. Granted, it's minus on hit, but it deals like 10 hits, so you could just KC it or go into JY and deal like a bunch of damage. It's so good. Your projectiles are also really good. 5x and JX are really fast. The rest of the kit is a little stubby. They have slightly worse normals than like Kyanta, but still, that damage ceiling is so high. Well, it's the fact that they can like deal a bunch of damage out of like nowhere, and like this is like I've also seen Kyanta just 1v3 an entire team. It like just, but like also it's this really like. They also kind of have like this 2x that they could use as a command dash. Granted, it's a lot more punishable, but it's still really good. Kyanta is really good. But like they just have like small weaknesses where some of their like I don't know, some characters you can use all parts of the animal. Kyanta is not one of those characters where you kind of just like, oh, well, I guess I'm not using jab that much. Or I'm not using, like, JA. I don't know. They're still really good. Oh, they also have unblockable setups that are really good because of, like, because of the Ultra cancel change. Because you can just do, like, jab, 5x and into U1, and it's free because the projectile moves during the, like, Super Flash, puts them into block stun, and then you get a free 105 damage. Do another, and that's a dead character. Anyways, next character just missing out of the top 5. Might be a little bit of a shock, but I think Hisomi. This character is pretty good. The problem is they got some kind of... They used to be a top 3 character, arguably top 1, and then they got some damage nerfs that really kind of harmed the like real like ceiling that Hisomi had. Hisomi is an insane, like just this super slippery character. They have like they have such good movement. Their web balls are like this huge minefield that you have to like go through. They all move at like different arcs, and so it's like really crazy. Just like it's very hard to actually parry your way in. Their 5A is really like they have the best jab. They have a lot of the best in this game. Where if you just like the best X, they have like I think 2 of those, which is pretty neat. They have the best jab and arguably the best move in the entire game. I think that did get dethroned recently, and I'll get to that, but. They have really good jump-ins. They have really good mobility. They have a really quick overhead that they can combo into U2 because of the Ultra changes. But they lack that kind of like real kill power now that they got now that the damage buff from web balls got removed. Now they have to like get that extra like neutral interaction where they didn't have to before. So. Yeah, because Hisomi has to play the game more, they kind of just dropped down a tiny bit. They're still the 6th best character in the entire game. And even then, they are still really good. But the main thing, how have I forgotten to talk about this move? 2EX is insane! It is insane! It is like on nearly full screen. multi-hitting reversal that's plus on block that combos into itself, so you can just hold it again. Also frame traps as well if you just spam it. So it's like this, like, it is such a belligerent move. It is so good. It combos. It just does everything. It is definitely the best like EX move in the game. However, I don't know. I think arguably, I would say it's the best EX move in the entire game, or at the very least, it's like top two. And having at worst top two is not bad at all. But yeah, if you want to like make people hate you, you could play Hisomi. And Hisomi's pretty good at doing a lot of stuff, so she'd be pretty good at making you be hated. And the last character at the not quite rich enough to afford a W City penthouse is I would say is Anna. Just barely misses out of that like elite social club that is the top four. She is a really oppressive character. She can make you feel really bad. Like, just like she can make you want to like quit fighting games. She is a really good like character at pretty much like she's really good on point. She's really good at I think her best spot is mid. No, well, I would say yeah. Her best spot is as a mid because her only real weakness is she isn't the best. She's like A minus character without meter. But with meter, she's like one of the best characters in the entire game. But this is a game where you could always make sure that you have meter, so she's always one of the best characters in the entire game. And she has really good disjoints. Her kicks, like her JX 2X, insane move. She has looping knockdown. She has 5X, which is a slow moving projectile. So you have this like, she has really, really good Oki in a game where Oki really doesn't exist. So she is very hard to deal with. She has like pseudo unblockables with like 5X and buffer, like grab. She has like really, really, really good tools. She has actual unblockables with like 5B into U2, though most people just play Super Anna, and there's one reason for that. 5EX. It is just one hell of a move. Like, wow. Because it's this slow moving EX projectile. And just like, because of how EX projectiles work, it is so strong. And it's just, once it's out, the entire like game revolves around that move. Because it's like, you can't get rid of it. It's massive, so it's kind of hard to jump over it. Anna also has really good air-to-air, so can just force you like into the 5EX. It is such an oppressive neutral tool. They also have pretty good jabs, pretty decent jabs to like help service like their game plan. They're also really fast as well. They have a really good move speed, especially in Super. They could do really good like block pressure. I don't know. I apologize if I'm rambling a lot. If I'm just kind of like, it's been like 2-ish hours. But we're almost there. We're almost there. The only issue is that Anna, she doesn't really have any ultras. Her U1 is, like, it's a decent, like, install. The problem is, because it's an install, you lose access to 5EX, which is, like, the best, like, arguably the best. That's the other part of the top 2 best EX moves. Like, just this really, really, really good, like, EX move. Just, like that, the opportunity cost of losing 5EX is enough to make that ultra, even though it is a really good ultra, unusable. And then U2 is just like kind of okay. Eh. But like she is so good. She's so, I guess she lacks a little bit in the damage department, but I don't know, if she had like a usable ultra, like a super 5EX, she would probably she's still top 5. You know. But she'd like be like in the top 3, and I don't think at 3. But anyways, we're in the Dub City Penthouse. This is the elite of the elite. The first character is Japan Common. This is the best anchor in the entire game. It's so weird. Like, just like, this character does not seem like they would be an anchor. It's a high mobility, low damage character that, like, high meter gain, like, low damage, high meter gain, rush down character. That sounds like your perfect, like, crackhead battery, like, point. But oh my god, is the bubble, that fucking bubble is so good. I think it's the best reversal in the game. It's arguably the best move in the entire game. It's so, because everything revolves around it, and then you just, because he's this like, he's like, you know how I talked about Perry Azuma being this like self-sufficient like island state in the meter economy? This is like the like global superpower in the meter economy, where everyone has to pay like everyone has to like pay in like the Japan common like petrol dollar. Like, it is like so crazy how good they have, like how good that bubble controls the neutral. And on top of that, they are the fastest character in the entire game. They have like, they are such a crazy rushdown character. They are just like, it feels like, you know those like Turkish ice cream vendors? Have you seen those videos? That's what it's like fighting like Japan Common. That's how it feels. It feels like you're trying to reach for the cone that the Turkish ice cream vendor has, and you grab the cone, and then you grab the cone to get the ice cream, and it's just an empty cone, and your character is dead. That's what it feels like fighting this character. This character, like, even the best characters, the counterplay to Japan Common is like stopping them from developing nuclear meter technology. Like, as soon as they get to like 3 bars as an anchor, you lost. You could have like 3 characters and it would still be like a hard fight. This isn't even top 3, by the way. This character's insane. Their 2B pisses me off. I've been anti-aired by the low profile. This pisses me off. They also have really good combos. They could like get a bunch of meter. They could combo into the bubble and have all these little like bubblings like just bouncing around the screen. They're also EX projectiles, so you can't get rid of them. So it's just, wow, this character, man. Harama, please strike this character down. Please, like, make a Budovi. Get rid, fucking make the bubble like Kyanta, like Fireball Ultra. Make it like that. It's so. Oh my god, this move. However, they are, even if the one trick pony is like, their one trick is like solving cancer and granting wishes, that's still like a one trick pony. Where if, like, they are still really, really good, but it's just kind of like, you know what you're getting into. You know you have to stop the body, like the bubbles as much as possible. And then if you can do that, the character does kind of fold. But they still have good EX moves. 2EX is like just another kind of like crackhead EX move. You just get hit randomly. It's a low. Why is it a low? this character pisses me off, like, a lot. And speaking of characters that piss me off a lot, Haruyan, the third best character in the entire game. This character is just... This character is so good. This character is just able to set up unblockables. They have really good neutral with their JB, JX. 5X is 5X can be like situationally used. They have a really good EX move with 5EX. They're just like, I don't know, it's weird. They are just so consistent. They get like, and this is even with the nerf that they received to their like 5B. They used to be even better, but they're still pretty good. Like you just do JB instead and get more meter instead of 5B. And their 2X is such a move. God, why does this move beat out Chihiro 5X? Grabs clash in this game. This move beats out the grab. What? Huh? I mean, this character. They have really good jabs too. It's like this really good disjoint. It's has very low pushback, very plus unblock. She's also really fast. Also the unblockables that lead into insane damage. She gets you into the corner and you lose. Like, you're just gone. God. But she is so strong. She has just being this like consistent of a character. She also plays really well against the other top tiers as well, where like she kind of just has like all neutral matchups, it feels like, at worst. But I don't know, the problem is she's just, I don't know, there isn't actually a problem with her. She just doesn't have the spin. Second character in the best character in the game, and I guess that also spoils it. I think Rare is the best character in the game. This might be a little controversial. Most people think it's Tsukunabi. It's Rare. I think it's Rare. But anyways, let me talk about Suki. Suki has an universal infinite, and that isn't even her best tool. She has a universal infinite, and that's probably the most honest thing she has, is a goddamn infinite. She has insane neutral. She has really good meter gain, despite having meter gain nerfs on 2 of her moves. She has really good normals because she has these like butcher blades, and if you have like a weapon, they are always disjointed in this game. There's no like weird like Billy Kane invisible hurt box type scenario. You are getting just disgusting disjoints, and they have that, but they have probably the most like belligerent like move in the entire game, which is 5EX. 5EX, it's like, it feels like it's plus on whiff. Like, you are in a better situation. Even if you whiff this move, it feels like you are in a winning position. It's so good. It's great on block. It deals so much damage. It also leads into a combo, because of course it does. This is Kyanta too. She has also 2 really good ultras. Her first one, U1, is just a really, really good combo ender. It's not her best. Her best one is hunting mode. Hunting mode just leads into these just BS checkmate scenarios where she could do 5 if it turns. This is why I think she's like the second best character in the game. 5X cancel U2 hunting mode into a U2 like 5X. That's a gapless block string, and also it's like U2's block strings are completely gapless, but it's also like you can't, like with other like infinite block strings, you can usually take the hit, but you can't against this because it's so much damage, and it's like you're already looping the gap string, the block string that you're looping is also the combo as well. You just loop 5x, 5b, 5x, and you just completely Boko break. It's just a checkmate scenario, and you can also set up the infinite as well off that Boko break. Like, I don't know. The problem is, she sometimes gets hit in neutral. Like, that feels like her only weakness. Is that, like, nobody plays her. At least in America, nobody really plays her. Like, sometimes you just get hit. That's, like, her one weakness. She could get hit sometimes. Which is why, I don't know. I still believe Rare is the best character in the game. Where do I begin with this character? This character, like, outside of, like, 2EX, you use all parts of the animal with this character. Every single move is, like, at least, like, good. 5A is decent. 2A is a really good, like, 2A. It's disjointed. 2B, low profile. So you get to, like, set up this, like, so you're able to go through zoning. This character does everything. Like, Suki is, like, will always be a rushdown character. So if you can zone her out, she can be zoned out. But Rare just does everything. They are a zoner, they are a grappler, they are a rushdown character, they are, like, they set up Oki. They can also just be, like, this neutral footsies character. They do everything. They do everything. Like, I think, like, they have the best jump in the entire game, in my opinion, and that is Rare's JB. Why is this? This has lower body invincibility. Why is this jump in and inverse, like, Guilty Gear 6P? That's insane. It also goes full screen. It's just a full screen, partially invincible jump in. Like, you know, like, it's crazy. And you still have, like, insane zoning with, like, 5x. 5x is just, like, it's like, imagine, combine all the strengths of, like, the B, like, combine all the strengths of, like, the A- and below characters, that's 5x. That's 5x. The combined strength is equal to 5x. It does everything. It's a neutral tool. It's a 3-hit stationary projectile. You're just able to, you can use it to get meter off of his meter taunt. You can use it to get, like, you use it to zone, and then, like, use 2x to block out the sky, and use 5B to call out low profiles. You can, like, and then you have, like, and then you, like, then you can, once you do, like, get in, you can then just, like, do, like, combo into 2B, set it up. It's also an Oki tool. It does everything. It does everything. It's so good. It's really, really good. I am sweating. This has been... I also turned my fan off because, like, I didn't want the fan being picked up on this, like, 2-hour video. But this game makes me... This game's awesome. This game's awesome. But I love talking about this game. But, like, yeah, you also have really high damage combos with Rare, where you can't just get, like, these TODs really easily. They're a little janky, but they're still, like, just, you have these, like, just fuck you neutral options. Like, I don't know, your worst move is, like, 2EX, and you can just not use 2EX. Like, they are so good. Like, they get high damage, they get looping Oki, they get throw loop unblockables, too, where if they just roll into the corner, the only, like, because you could have it, you could position yourself so that 5x, you move faster than the 5x, and then throw, and then it will, like, the throw startup and the 5x block stun will happen at the same frame. So then you're just able to, like, get an unblockable and loop that. It's like, this character is so good. Anyways, I have no clue how long this is. I think it's like 2-ish hours. This it's really funny. This is just gonna be invalidated in like about 20, maybe 24 hours, depending on when like the Grand Sky patch releases. But I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm really bored at home, so I just did this. So, anyways, this is my like got to. It also looks like a kind of face too. Like, see, there's like there's the head, there's the nose, there's like the mouth and the chin, and there's like the neck. That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. Um, yeah. Anyways, this is all my opinion, but like, I think I have a good opinion. I think you could trust this. So if you're interested in Kyanta 2, there you go. There's a tier list. You can still play these characters at the bottom too. It's just like, you know, it doesn't matter because tier lists don't matter if you aren't playing competitively. But it's also Kyanta 2. Even if you are playing competitively, you're still playing Kyanta 2. So whatever. Anyways, that was a fun exercise. Well, no, it wasn't an exercise. I just sat down for like 2 hours and talked. But still, neat. I guess, yeah, tell me what you think. So yeah, that's about it.